We started Men Creating Peace. We wanted a different type of program. There's a unique style that we have about bringing the person's awareness up with the behavior and the impact of their behavior. We have a nurturing and compassionate way of working with the men, but we also have a way of holding the men accountable and using the class to hold the men accountable. So the peers are holding each other accountable.
I think this is an amazing program. Some programs can be very rigid, and what I find with this particular program is there's a balance between holding somebody accountable while also having compassion for the men. That's important for me, to have a humanistic aspect where you can understand things that are going on and everything is not punitive.
The way that you guys do it is like with love and compassion that only a person who sat in that seat could felt. When I came into Men Creating Peace, I was absolutely willing to do whatever it took. However, I wasn't a believer in this program or any other program. I constantly tried to prove this program wrong in the first few weeks. Somewhere around like week 9, I think, realized that like, hey, this program does work in every area of our lives and like really is almost like a flawless program. And then once you guys shared your stories with us and I seen that you guys had been where we had been and felt what we had felt, then like I was sold. I was all in.
I oftentimes bring the struggles I have in my own personal relationships here in class, use that as a learning moment so the men know that I'm not above them, I'm not any better than them, I'm one decision away from going back to jail. The men want to give me feedback about my behavior, I'm open to it.
Guys are like, yeah, you're holding me accountable, but I sense that you're holding me accountable from a place of genuinely caring about me versus just being another hammer that's been in my life. And so to have a compassionate piece to the program lends to guys being more receptive to the information. How do you work with me in a truly transformative way where you embrace all that I am?
I came in as a survivor of domestic violence and gave them a little bit of background on my story. Felt a real connection with the guys there that day. It gave them a little bit further impact of what their actions and behaviors, what they really do to their families, and not just their loved ones, but to their own lives.
On the first evening, we ask the men to tell their story, and then we share with them in a very nurturing setting what they could use that first night to make some changes in their life.
4 or 5 hours, I held her hostage and just like choked her and called her names and tried to suffocate her with like pillows and punched her a couple of times in like her ribs, slapped her around. Like I think that my goal that night was I probably would have like killed her and I would choke her till she was about to pass out, then I would let her go.
I was an abuser. I created violence in my home and I did want to change. I had a thought that I could change. How that was going to happen, I had no idea. Even though I wanted to, I didn't think that it was possible to change. There was always violence in my relationships. I never thought anything was wrong with it. I thought it was just a normal thing.
It was wonderful in the beginning. It was everything it should be. I didn't realize that I was really dancing with the devil. There was no outside interaction with the world. My abuser picked me up, put me in a van, and took off driving with me. And I knew he was going to take me to dump my body. And we got to the top of the hill in Oakland on 98, and something said run. I have a broken back, my eyes bleeding. I opened the car door and fell out, kind of rolled down the hill. And I ran as fast as I could.
Coming to the program, I didn't have any stability in my life. The only thing that was constant was the revolving door of incarceration since I was 10 years old. And if I wasn't acting out in prison, then I was acting out in the streets. Like everything was like me trying to dominate, me trying to dominate, me trying to dominate, and like applying some type of violence to every area of my life.
Male role belief system, a belief system where men are taught to play the superior role. We break that down and help the men to understand that that creates very unhealthy relationships, you know, and we encourage them and support them to create more relationships based on equality instead of the superior-inferior dynamic.
You will never change your behavior unless you change what you believe, because our beliefs govern our behavior. And so there are so many beliefs that need to be addressed around superiority, patriarchy, racism, all of these different things that is very important for people to hear.
The classroom definition of a fatal peril is the moment when my male role belief system has been challenged, and the male role belief system is what I was taught as a young man.
I'm in fatal peril right now, which means I need a moment to breathe. Right now, my male role belief system is being challenged. This guy called me a bitch, he called me the N-word. That makes me feel less than a man. This is all going on within less than a second, all in my mind. Something happens to me, you hurt me, I'm angry, you deserve this pain. Versus me being able to see what the situation really is and being able to make a way better informed decision of what's going on and having a better outcome out of the situation.
That moment is a moment to make a decision. Am I going to go here or am I going to go here? Find a solution that doesn't involve violence.
They have a program in place step by step that leads these guys from not having their words, from not being able to speak, to not being able to relay and express these emotions, to having a way to get all this out without violence, without aggression.
You have men that are saying, I'm willing to go against the grain. I'm willing to be looked at differently. I'm willing to be true to myself versus this image that I've been taught about how I need to be, and challenge these things to do some work on myself to become a better human being.
I am me, I don't care about how other people think of me or what they think I should be. As long as I have a good heart in my mind and soul, I feel like that's all I need to be.
Many of them have never had a relationship with themselves. It's always been like an image or what they thought that society wanted them to be, and how to take that image away and put that aside and really get to know their true self, their authentic self.
I try to move through the world with love and compassion and tolerance and acceptance, and try to create as much peace in my world as possible. And I feel like that's a big difference from when I came in, for sure.
Men Creating Peace gave me so much. I had no idea it was in any way possible that a man at the age of 28 could change his violent behavior. It's all about communication, it's about understanding, being aware of the other person's feelings. I'm accountable for my actions.
The curriculum that Men Creating Peace actually presents, it works. It's making an impact. It's making a change. It's not just an anger management class.
Living a nonviolent life. And when we talk about not being violent, we're not just talking about physical violence, but we're talking about every form of violence.
So where I'm at now in life is completely different. I'm way happier. Actually use these tools that Men Creating Peace gives you, and you can't change.
It just gives me a sense of worthiness. I can relate to people on a human level. I can open my heart to another man. I feel excited. That's how I feel,
I see this program expanding. I think this information is very relevant on so many levels. It being instituted in high school and colleges, in the workplace.
My hope is that I can share that formula with other people, that they can utilize and expand their program with using some of the program materials and some of the models that we use here in our program. Hold that space for men to teach other men how to stop their violence, how to change their behavior.